So I thought that maybe we'd do a little exercise, and but Brian in his talk there talks about this was one of the first times I ever wrote goals down, but forgive me for consulting my little cheat sheet, but he says that you need to right now, we're going to do this together, so after I tell you, you're going to go and do it before the video is even over. You're going to go get a piece of paper, and on the top of that paper you're going to write promises and today's date, and real quickly, just, it should only take you 4 or 5 minutes, write down 10 things that you'd like to achieve in the next year. Now, that you need to follow that formula, that SMART formula that I went through with you, so that your goals are going to be present tense. Your brain only understands the language of right now. Your brain, can't do anything except right in this moment. So you need to make sure that it's present tense. It's got to be positive. We talked about positivity, why things have to be positive. Your subconscious mind can't understand a negative. It only hears what you say and it starts to attract that. So if you're saying you don't want something, it's going to give it to you anyways. It's got to be positive. It's got to be, if you want to not do something, you have to figure out a way to rephrase it so that you're saying it in a positive way, and it has to be personal. You always use the word I. It's got to be something that you want to do. You're the only person that can use the word I. You're the only one that's relevant to, and you have to immediately follow up the I with an action verb. It's got to be something that is actionable, that you can get into right away. So, let's the more sharp and specific and to the point that you can make all this, the faster that it's going to come about. So I want you to pause the video right now. Get out your sheet of paper and just real quickly jot down 10 things that you want to have happen in the next year. Well, I hope you actually paused it and you're following through on what I'm trying to get you to do here. Because if you did actually follow through, you're now in that top 3% of achievers that I talked about. You're in that 3% that's going to have your goals and your promises to yourself actually start to come to fruition here. Brian, when he taught this to me, told me that if you just didn't do a thing else, if you didn't follow through his recipe for success, if you just got that far and wrote down some goals, 10 goals that you want to have happen in the next year, if you just put it away and didn't think about it again for the whole rest of the year, amazingly, if you took out that list, and he's taught this to thousands and thousands of people all over the world, if you took that list at the end of that 12 months, took it out and looked at it, almost invariably, 8 out of 10 of those things will have happened for you in the past year. It's an amazing thing, I know, but it's real. So I encourage you to, if you haven't already done that, rewind the video, go back and do it right now. Right now. Speed of implementation. You have to have a sense of urgency about this. You don't have to get it right. You just have to get it going. But do it right now. If you have your list, if you're in that top 3% right now, I want to take you to the top 1%. Brian's got a little magic wand experiment that he does, and it goes something like this. If you could have any one of those things that you wrote down in the next 24 hours, without worrying about the how or the why, the way that it's going to happen, if you could have any one of those things within the next 24 hours, which one would it be? I want you to look back at your list, go through it, read them, and circle the one that's jumping out at you. That little voice in your head is going to be saying, that's the one I want. That one right there, and that's the one that I want you to go and circle. So, do that right now. And this is going to be your new organizing principle in life. This is your new driving force. This is the goal that you need to start working on right now to make some promises to yourself and start achieving it. And you're going to take it right back through that recipe for success that we talked about before, and start working right through it. You've already, decided what you want, you've written it down, and now it's time to start setting some deadlines. It's all those statements that I had you write down before. It should be I with an action verb, what you want, and then a deadline right at the end of it. So hopefully you already have it written in that form. And now you're going to need to, with that one that you have picked as your defining principle right now, you're going to need to go through and work right through that recipe for success. You know, you've made your list of everything that you need to achieve that one goal. You know, you've organized the list, and now you're going to start taking some action today. What can you start doing today to start working towards that? You know, and what can you do every day? You know, figure out, start writing it down on a daily basis. What can I do to start achieving these sort of things? I'm going to leave it at that for today. Tomorrow I'm going to come back and help you take what you've done today and work it into a promise plan for yourself. You know, your personal business plan, your plan for success that you're going to work through, and I'm going to teach you some new techniques to add to that so you can actually start following through and doing something every day and, you know, hopefully start achieving some things in your life. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I encourage you to leave me some feedback, some questions, and I look forward to growing with you. Talk to you tomorrow.